Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever PermaYouth podcast. And I am Lulu, and I'm here with Maya, Eleni, Chloe. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, I'm Maya.
Hello. I'm Eleni.
I'm nobody.
That's Chloe. As an introduction to the podcast, we're just going to be chatting a bit, talking a bit about ourselves, permaculture, and just some random topics and stuff. So I hope you enjoy. Who are you guys?
So I'm Eleni, and I have grown up and live in a permaculture eco-village in southeast Queensland called Crystal Waters. I'm really passionate about illustrating books about nature and animals, working with animals. I have 3 horses who I work with and train, and painting and writing.
My name is Lulu. Again, mentioned that. I also grew up in a permaculture environment on a small island off the east coast of Africa. I also have a huge passion for animals and newly developed teaching and permaculture design.
Well, I'm Chloe. I grew up in Crystal Waters Permaculture Eco Village, like Eleni and Maya, and also in an off-grid community in mid-north Tasmania. And it was very permaculture in both those places. So I guess I never really thought about what permaculture was. It was just life. I also have a very large passion for animals, and we have a lot, including 3 goats, less than 70, maybe like 30 something chickens, and, cats and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm Maya. I also live in Crystal Waters Permaculture Eco Village. And so, yeah, I've grown up with permaculture, as we all have. And my mom's a permaculture teacher, my dad's a permaculture teacher, and I think I'm a bit of a budding permaculture teacher too. And yeah, just got chickens and stuff, and I love philosophy and classical literature and yeah, lots of things. From your lives growing up with permaculture, what do you think it is?
I can't explain it. It's just a lifestyle, I guess.
Well, for me, permaculture is life. It is literally
life.
Yes, it's like to me it is the way we live, the way we the way we eat, but it's so much more than that, because everyone thinks permaculture, oh, gardening, oh, farming, oh, cute little gardens and stuff, but it's more than that. In its philosophy, it is providing people with food, it is sharing a passion for earth care, but it's just so much more. And for me, the more I've learned about permaculture, the more I see it as existence, life. It is how life is meant to be.
I see permaculture as it is a way of seeing the world and seeing life, and it's deeply rooted in interconnectedness and care. And seeing is, we all come from Earth and we all come from nature. It has a very big focus on nature, and I think only right so, because nature is the most powerful force at the moment. Yeah, I see permaculture as a deep care about, everything on this planet and seeing how it's all connected.
Yeah, and also I think what's pretty cool about it is it's like a set of patterns that's kind of derived from nature that, it works anywhere. It works, for gardening, it works in communities, and also the people that are in permaculture are pretty cool as well. Well, I'd like to think so because I am a permaculture person, but... Why do you think, us as young people, teenagers and stuff, why do we need to be doing it, permaculture? Why are you guys involved?
Well, I think we have to be involved because it's kind of, we are going to be the people. I don't believe in humans like guarding the earth, but we have made ourselves the dominant force on this planet by force. As the young people of this generation, we have to wake up and think, oh, wow, we are doing such a not good job of looking after our earth and not doing a good job of sharing it with other beings, plants, animals. And I think learning permaculture is a way of sort of learning how to respect life and how to help life, you know, because as we are made ourselves the dominant forces, we have to kind of respect and make life for other beings as positive and happy as possible. And I think for young people, they have to learn how to do that.
I think young people or people in general, honestly, because it's never too late. Now is always the best time. I don't necessarily see permaculture as the solution, but permaculture gives us tools and ways to open up our mind to the things around us, which, you know, is anything from person to a tiny speck of dust. And with these tools and this way of seeing things, we can fix and find solutions to the problems that we face, may they be big or small. So I think that's why permaculture is really important and why I really support people, you know, doing permaculture.
I guess for me, a lot of it is hanging around like-minded people, because I find people like that are very hard to find these days. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but everyone seems to be kind of shut off to the world, like not to the world, but to the earth more specifically. And I think just joining together as youth, we can be a very large force. And because we're so young, we've been born into the world in its state right now, and we can see what's going on. And through finding out what's happening, we can create change and ways to combat that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not also like a teenager thing. It's also like, I think everyone should do permaculture, you know, it doesn't just have to be teenagers or anything. But, you know, also I think, you know, typically teenagers have been told, oh, you can wait until you do stuff when you're older. But I think this whole thing with the climate strike movement is like, you can actually do stuff now. You don't have to vote. So yeah, you know, like permaculture, as you were saying, Lulu, you know, to make a difference with the big issues like climate change. So how is climate change directly affecting you in your area right now?
The seasons where we are have become like a lot more erratic. You know, I remember when I was younger, like we always had a very wet season, a dry season, and like a rainy kind of point between that's sort of like hot, rainy and dry. And now we have like a crazy dry season that's super dry, a crazy wet season that's getting less and less crazy. It's sort of becoming more like a lot of rain, but not like the substantial amounts of rain we were used to. And then it was becoming kind of hot and like hot and dry earlier in the year, and then getting colder. I think it's getting colder earlier, but that might just be me.
I think it's just flipping around generally a whole lot more.
Yeah, it's just kind of swinging around.
I mean, we used to get giant, I mean, I'm just a few hills over from you, but we used to get like giant storms after hot days. They don't come anymore.
Like not as
they used to come every afternoon, really.
That is true, but yeah.
I suppose the same things. The seasons, they're kind of going haywire. We're expecting rains this or next. Well, actually, this month. Yeah, and it's not looking like we're gonna get them. It's kind of sad right now. We're entering another like drought kind of thing out. All of the leaves are brown around us, and it's not looking very good. But otherwise, since it is an island, you notice things on land, but also a lot in the ocean. And one thing that I have noticed is when I was like small, I used to walk along the beach and collect shells. And I have like this little box of like my favorite shells, because you know, after time you kind of get bored of the shell that you have and you throw it back into the ocean. But then there's the special ones that you do take home. And now whenever I go to the beach, there's not really that many shells to collect anymore. And that has probably something to do with climate change and the El Niños and the oceans, like the heat of the ocean rising and overfishing and more pollution and so on and so forth. So that's definitely something. And also there's this tree on a small island. That's not the island that I'm on, because Zanzibar is made up of many different islands, but there's a small island where my parents started, like they did some ranger training and put it under protection. And there's a baobab tree that's growing at the side of the island. And as the years go by, the roots are more and more exposed, the sand's being washed away because the island is shrinking. And the recent update was that the baobab tree fell over and is now gone.
Oh,
So this baobab tree was probably 200 to 300 years old, and this is like a massively visible way that climate change is affecting us, which is just basically the islands are shrinking.
yeah, no, that's really quickly too. You know, like 300 years for a tree, and then in 20 years it's gone.
Yeah.
It's things like that that are kind of like thrown in your face that people often forget about, you know, that it's actually happening. It's not some looming path, it is in our face right now.
How are you responding to climate change then? You know, like either the immediate signs or overall, you know?
I suppose like on a small scale, like now we're making a lot of wicking beds where we have a wicking system is basically you have a small water storage in a pot or in a big basin or a cement structure, and you fill it up with rocks, and then you put down like a sheet of biodegradable, can be like, I don't know, as we use old clothes that we can no longer wear. And then on top of that, you put your soil and your plants, so they have like this water reservoir, and you don't need to water them every day, which is really helpful when we don't have any water. So that's like the small things that are changing. And then like large scale, I suppose it's spreading awareness and really making more conscious decisions in our everyday lives of what we're consuming, what we're buying.
Where I am, like, I guess I'm really making an effort not to use too much water. For example, when I have a shower, you know, I have like the wet soap, wet wash kind of thing. And then like in my garden, I'm trying to, you know, shrink it to use the minimal amount of water. But then there are other things like, you know, in day-to-day life, I try to avoid buying things that are, you know, contributing to warming the planet. And then I'm also trying to spread the maximum amount of awareness I can. And I've hit this kind of wall, I guess, of people saying, oh, you know, I'm just one person, I'm not going to matter. But I'm like, well, I can't be bothered. And that just makes me angry. And I'm like, I am in a situation where I am being affected by you not caring, and you know, you don't understand that. And I think a lot of people forget that we are in it now, and I have to spend a lot of time spreading awareness and trying to help people.
Yeah, climate change isn't going to happen 2050 when they start to cut the carbon budget down. It's happening now already.
Yes.
Pretty much the same. What we do at home, small scale, is just being really conscious, trying to reduce plastics or doing soft plastics recycling if we, you know, do end up with a bit of plastic. And growing a lot of our own food. We're currently in a rental, and we've got these styrofoam broccoli boxes from the local grocer, and we've filled them with soil. Unfortunately, we had to buy the soil in because where we're renting, the soil is just, it's dirt, it's not soil. So we had to buy that in, but we're still growing food, mostly herbs, but it's really exciting when we get to put a bit of that on our food, knowing that that's doing its own part. And we've just got our first citrus tree. So we're like, yay, it's now sequestering carbon, awesome. And then larger scale, exactly the same, trying to spread awareness. And I've recently, in the last 6 months probably, signed up to Get Up, and I get a lot of petitions to sign through them. And I'm like, whoa, what would I do without these guys? I wouldn't know what was going on. And I really think that's probably one of the more global things I'm doing at the moment.
I have a question. So all these changes that you guys are doing, was it hard to change? Do you reckon other people could do it easy?
Yeah, I'm like, at the moment, I just had to cut out. I'm not eating gluten, dairy. I'm not eating dairy because it makes me sick, and also like I like cows too much. And then I've also stopped eating meat except for fish, and that was like a big thing because I really have liked eating meat, but I couldn't eat it anymore because I felt like I work with a lot of herbivore animals, and I was looking at a cow in the dairy next door to us the other day, and I'm like, oh, I can't eat you. No, I can't do this. And Mum served me up a plate of sausages, and I'm like, I can't eat that, Mum. I'm sorry. I just can't. And that was like a huge wake up for me. And then since then, I have been trying literally everything I can to reduce my waste. I am now using zero waste sanitary products. I am now telling my parents off for buying stuff in plastic. I am now having, because especially with my dietary things, a lot of the food I have to eat is heavily plasticked. And, I'm trying to like, okay, we're going to turn those cartons into we're going to make our own almond milk. And that's like, it's big stuff, but it's kind of, it is contributing.
Well, I've grown up in an off-grid environment. We built this house when we moved in when I was 2. Before that, we also we had 2 homes, kind of, one which is now our guest house on this property, and then another one that was a bit further away. But pretty much since I can remember, I've always lived the way that I live now. So I've never had to make any big changes. I suppose my main challenge was that when I had friends over that didn't know much about living a very off-grid lifestyle, they would come to my house and they'd be like, oh no, there's going to be a snake in your toilet that's going to bite me when I sit there, or no, I'm scared, or ew, this is weird. So I used to be embarrassed about the way that I live up until I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. But at the same time, it was always really, really cool to live the way that I live. I also I eat meat, but I don't eat meat anywhere else than at home. So I only eat my own birds, which when I explain that to people, they're like, how do you do that? It would be so much easier to eat meat somewhere else. But it's I don't like the taste anymore. It just tastes like rubber. And then when I eat my own chickens, it's sometimes I do feel bad, I'll be holding, or it's on my fork or whatever, and I'm just no. But then at the same time, it's okay. And my mom has this, since she's small, she's always hated animals dying and stuff. So she cannot kill an animal. I can't either, but we have a guy who lives in our village. He comes and does it. And it's halal because everyone here is Muslim. So it's the best way to end an animal's life because they don't even feel it happening, and we only do it at night. So yesterday, for example, we had to get rid of one of our roosters because he was being a pest towards all of the other chickens. And because my mom can't cope with it, I always have to take the chickens and bring them to him. And so what I do is I have this little ritual where I just whisper my thanks and my goodbyes to the animal, and then after that I don't feel guilty because it's okay, I've let him go and it's okay. Which is why I can eat the meat. So, but otherwise, there aren't really any challenges. But
yeah, it's a nice way of doing it, and probably much more fulfilling as well than just getting meat from the supermarket.
Yeah, we've never done that, probably ever. So.
What inspires you to do what you do? And also, is there any particular person that you look up to?
So what inspires me is definitely life is the most inspiring thing, I think, because I'm constantly surrounded by it. I am it. All my best friends are it, including my horses and my goats and ducks and chickens and my family. And life is the biggest inspiring thing for me. And I think I'm constantly in awe of how amazing life is and how incredible it is. And that just makes me inspired to do what I do.
I get really inspired by seeing people like David Holmgren and Charlie McGee, Sierra Robinson, and Lauren Oberon Carter, and all these people who are doing amazing things, and they inspire me to do so much more than I'm currently doing. I mean, I know I'm living a more sustainable life than the average 15-year-old, but I always feel like I can do so much more when I see other people doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you always get small bits of inspiration from here, like here and there. I mean, whenever I talk to you guys, I feel inspired afterwards, which is why I joined the Perma Youth meetings, because otherwise, if it wasn't fun or inspiring, I mean, I have lots of things to do. I mean, you're always busy. Yeah, you guys definitely inspire me. And then people like Nora Bateson has made a massive impact in my life. And,
Yes.
even Maya's mum, Maura Gamble, I suppose that she has made the biggest impact, because without her, I wouldn't have met all of these amazing people and taken all of these courses, like Nora Bateson's course or Preach of Capra. And otherwise, my mum really inspires me, which is like kind of cringy or cliche, but like at the same time, I'm proud to admit that my mum inspires me, because she is a power woman and she does so much, and it's really, really inspiring. Otherwise, like Eleni, just life inspires me and keeps me doing what I do, and people, because people are wonderful creatures, and yeah, pretty much everything is a wonderful creature. So
Yeah.
let's keep it going, because it's there and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the cliche thing and say my mom too. She helps me very muchly with, Perma Youth and, just life in general. And yeah, I think I really like looking at trees. I find them really inspiring. Like, they've got so many patterns on them. And like, I was looking at one today, when I went for a walk with you, Eleni, and there was one that had like this big like a dead orchid on it, and it was kind of like a mycelium network on the tree on the outside, but it was all these different leaves and stuff. I don't know, I like patterns a lot, and I think, yeah, I don't know, trees are very inspiring, but then again, so is everything else. And now we move on to the quick fire round, which is a quick series of random questions so you know that we're actually human. How do you eat your soup?
Slurped.
I try not to slurp mine at all.
And blowing on it a lot.
I've never slurped soup.
I like to eat it with a fork. Okay.
That's impossible.
Or a knife, the front of a knife. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's always fun. Last piece of music you listen to?
Hard. Oh, this K-pop song. My
Oh,
dad
no.
was
Oh my
doing
god,
this
you too,
student.
Eleni. Are you serious?
It wasn't me. It was my dad. He was doing it for a student and he was crying because the music video was so beautiful and he made me watch it.
Right.
The last piece of music I can recall listening to was this really funky kind of boppy music in a craft tutorial.
Funky.
The last piece of music that I listened to was Money by Lisa, which is a K-pop song. But that was because my friend sent it to me. But the last piece of music that I listened to, because I wanted to listen to music, was while I was drawing last night. And that was My Future by Billie Eilish.
Cool. Yeah, I have a few Beatles records, so I've been listening to that constantly. So probably Girl, the Beatles song. What language do you speak or think in?
English. Well, actually, I think in pictures, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm mother tongue German, but I think in English. And I've always, whenever I played with my dolls, I always played in English, which people always find confusing. But I speak English, German, and Kiswahili fluently. And I want to learn Japanese and Spanish and Arabic, but that's all future. So
I speak English. I'm currently learning German, but lately I've been doing a lot more of it, and I notice I've been mixing my English and German together, even in my head or when I'm writing or typing something. So yeah.
Oh, I do that with Italian sometimes. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Also, Eleni, you speak horse.
I speak horse as well. Yes,
I speak chicken.
Yeah,
definitely chicken.
Yeah, English usually, but I'm learning French, Spanish, Gaelic, 2 Elvish languages, and want to learn ancient Greek as well. But yeah, I don't know, all languages maybe, but that's a far goal. Favorite word?
Imagination.
Oh.
No, it's actually anesthetic and anesthetized, but imagination sounds way better.
Yeah. I like the word flukdisonant. It means sound of waves. So there you go.
Can't remember what my current one is, but a few weeks ago it was keine Ahnung, which means no idea or something in German.
Keine Ahnung. Yeah, but that's 2 words.
Oh,
Phrase.
sentence.
Mine, well, I mean, if we go into German, like you can stick a bunch of words together to make like a super long word. That's something in German that's really fun. And then I'll have like a favorite word for like a certain amount of time. But right now, I think my favorite word might be hypergeal. I don't know why. It's been a really nice word since I learned what it is about in 4th grade. It's a type of germination. So yeah.
Oh, I love the word bourgeoisie. You know, like the
Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeoisie. Yeah, that one.
Bourgeoisie.
Flows off the tongue, you know, kind of.
Middle
class. Yeah, I don't know what it means.
Dude, I studied the French Revolution for 3 months.
Okay.
I know my bourgeoisie.
I listened to a podcast on the Communist Manifesto. That's where I got it from. All right, coffee or tea? How do you like it?
Both. Oh.
Cappuccino.
So my coffee is always judged by everybody. So my coffee,
Let's
I
judge
like
it.
it black and cold as well. And whenever I'm like at somebody's place and they have ice cubes, I take coffee. I make myself black coffee and I put in ice cubes.
Oh no, that's fine.
Why do you like it cold?
I don't know why I like it cold, but I definitely don't like coffee with milk. So but and tea or coffee in the mornings, tea at night, definitely.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm going to contradict Lulu and say I like my coffee with lots of milk in it. Yes, I don't know. I can't drink coffee any other way than with lots of milk. And I don't have a specific time for tea or coffee. It just whenever I feel like something
All the time.
I know what I want. You know that kind of feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chai with cream and honey. Lots of it. Unhealthy, but tastes good.
This is slightly off topic, but it is a drink. After work, I had I know it's gluttonous, an iced chocolate chai.
That sounds really, 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 really good.
It was very good.
Do you eat fancy non-mainstream vegetables?
All the time.
Yeah.
What do we class as non-mainstream? You can't buy it in a supermarket, maybe? Like a bowl.
Indigenous things that are growing in our bush that nobody on earth eats besides us.
Yay.
Oh, okay, no. I was going to
Sometimes I
say
used
my
to.
heritage cauliflower because that's very fancy, but
Well, is it like one of the purple cauliflower things? Or...
no, it's like the Romanesque ones.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of non-mainstream in Australia anyway. No, we eat cassava and taro root, which is odd here in Australia, but probably not in many other places.
Here, because especially cassava is like the most mainstream, like more than regular potato.
Well, see, nobody eats it here, so I can kind of get away with it. But yeah, I guess it is kind of a staple food. It's quite good though. And yeah, arrowroot as well. They're like all tubers, but yeah, and tamarilla as well.
We just planted tamarilla seeds.
Nice. What's the coolest building that you have seen?
An earthship. I can't specify one.
My house.
Are we talking in real life or on a picture?
Oh.
Let's do both. In real life, I would say like this cool eco-village thing that's like totally underground and all wavy, like big concrete wavy bits with a lake in the middle. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to say in real life, probably Eleanor's house.
Yay!
The house I used to live in when I was little, and other houses I've seen where I lived in Tasmania that were completely off-grid and awesome. And then in pictures, earthships.
So in my mind, okay, so like really big, cool castles. I have a thing for castles. It's my Irish.
I live in a castle. So, I mean, like, I have to say my house, but aesthetically, a friend of ours has like this tree house thing. And like, all of his walls and stuff is full of like random art. Like, he painted like taps and toilets and just put them up on his wall. And it's like, it's so messy and it kind of smells, but it looks so cool. And it's a tree house and he lives there. And it's so aesthetically definitely that, but otherwise my place, because you don't see something like that very often.
I think coolest is probably I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but like solar punk. You know, like it's kind of Studio Ghibli looking, but it's like or Ghibli, however you want to say it.
Ghibli.
Yeah, no.
Don't judge me. I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, it's futuristic kind of solar punk, pretty much. That's it. But yeah, I know I like it quite a lot. Is there any advice that you'd like to give to the people of the world while you're here?
Oh, yes, pick me. Don't think your passions like don't matter and can't help the global situation, because they can. And I think if there's a way you can help, and you just have to find it. And I think that is the advice I would give to everyone in the world.
My advice would be to, I'm going to quote here, "How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world," by Anne Frank. And I think that's got to be my top tip. Don't wait. Start doing it.
So my advice would be to everyone, do like Chloe and Eleni said, start small or big or whatever range you can do, and just do something for pretty much everything currently. And also remember that we're all in this together and that you do make a change.
I agree. I think you just need to think. That's how you start. Just think and start thinking about how you can make a difference, because most of the time we don't know what to do, so we start thinking up ideas about what if this happens, then that's a good way to start.
Oh yeah, and something that I also want to send out to everyone: look into systems thinking in permaculture. Yes. It will help.
And check out Permute, because it's awesome.
And check out Permute, yes,
because it's us.
Yay. Well, I just also wanted to say, you'll find buddies out in the world that are like you, or not like you, but get you. And I don't think anyone really gets me yet. I haven't found that person, because I don't even get myself. I think the closest person that is human is my mum, because I'm weird, but I know everyone is going to find people who get them and who support them and help them and understand their your quirks. And I think that is something that if you want to join Permute, you might find those people out there.
You never know. I suggest that everyone just goes out and looks at the clouds for a few minutes and just goes, wow, there's clouds out today, that's really nice. And if there's no clouds, don't look at the sun, just look at the blue sky and go, well, I know a lot of other people have done this, and a lot of other people are making change. So there is a world and it does matter. So do something about it.
Very confronting, but yes.
Yep. That's my amazing advice for the day.
I think it's very, very good advice.
Thank you. All right, so now we'll leave you with a new song from Roland in East Africa, and goodbye.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Maji machafu tusinywe tena, misitu tusiende tena. Palmakaji imeleta njia fupi kwa kurahisisha maisha, kama vile kutengeneza makala na mengi tumeyajua. Palmakaji imetufundisha, tukipanda mboga tusiweke kemikali, afya zetu ziwe sawa, mboga tusiweke dawa. mazingira yawe sawa salama. Angalia watoto wanatumia mboga, pia maji masafi, afya zao ni nzuri. Thank you Palmakacha kuleta mambo mapya hapa kwetu Chaka, tunawashukuru. We say thank you Palmakacha, we say thank you. God bless you Palmakacha, we love you. You've made our life so easy. Now we're doing pure wood. We use the comedy Chako. Vegetables our food.
Millions of lives are endangered because of the waste that we produce every day. Hundreds of children are dying of cholera brought by these wastes. But we get a clean environment, care for our nature by reusing and recycling all the waste into new materials. We clean our towns, villages and homes, and we make life cooler every day because of permaculture. Permaculture is the hope of the humanity. It's the way that leads us to a better future.
Palmakacha makara yawe turayashima, na muntu kijya mu ishyamba gushaka inkwi, wadufashije kugabanya ihungabana ry'ikirere, turacana iwacu twatandukanye n'imyotsi. Urubyiruko narwo reka tugushime, twahuguwe byinshi Chaka turashima, waduhaye aho twidagadurira, tubona ibyo gukora nidufite umwanya wo guta. We say thank you Palmakacha, we say thank you. God bless you Palmakacha, we love you. You've made our life so easy. Now we're doing pure wood. We use the comedy Chako. Vegetables our food.
We send our sincere thanks to the Permaculture Education Institute, Pama Youth, Morag Gambo, teacher Bemuriki, who teaches permaculture in East African refugee camps.
Roland Asima. We say thank you Palmakacha, we say thank you. God bless you Palmakacha, we love you. You've made our life so easy. Now we're doing pure wood. We use the comedy Chako. Vegetables our food.
So check out Permute at permute.org and you can see all the cool stuff we're doing. See ya.